Welkom in my klas graad 12's. Ons is besig met Poppy die drama en hierdie les gaan ons fokus op die verskillende karakters. Goed, kom ons begin by Poppy en haar kinders. Ons klassifiseer hulle as hoofkarakters. Onthou, haar eerste kind het op 5 maande gesterf. En hy is dood aan kinkoes, whooping cough. Dan was daar Bonsile, hy was haar oudste seun. Onthou nou, hy het 'n klein seentjie dan op die ou end Vukile. So maak net daai koneksie. Dan is daar Tandi en Nomvula. Hulle is 2 dogters en dan Kentjie en Fezzie. Nou Kentjie was die dokter het gesê sy naam behoort Weekend te wees. Goed, hier is 'n belangrike aanhaling. Sy is 'n meisie uit die geslag van groot vroue. Dit was haar, die betekenis van haar isiXhosa naam. Selfs as 'n klein dogtertjie was Poppy baie leergierig. Julle sal later in die storie, in die drama ook agterkom. Sy moes baie vroeg uit die skool uitgaan, want sy moes haar halfbroers en susters gaan oppas. Maar sy het die heeltyd moeite gedoen om nog meer en meer te leer. So sy is baie vroeg uit die skool uit. Goed, kom ons kyk 'n bietjie in diepte na Poppy se karakter. Sy moes vroeg uit die skool uitgaan om na Ma Lena se kinders te kyk. So met ander woorde, hierdie kinders was haar halfbroers en halfsusters. So that means it's the same mother, but 2 different fathers. Sy het met Stone getrou, Stone Nongena, uit die Ciskei, dit weet julle nou al, en sy moes die Xhosa gewoontes aanleer. The different cultural items, ways, how they did things. She was a very long-suffering person. She never gave up hope. Sy het nooit moed opgegee nie. Haar lewe was nooit maklik nie. Sy het 'n moeilike lewe gehad, haar hele lewe lank. Sy moes in lang toue staan. Dis nou waar die dompasse inkom. Every now and again, sometimes every month or every 3 months or every 6 months, you had to go and stand in a queue in what we will call today Home Affairs and have your pass stamped. I did explain previously that that was non-negotiable. You had to have that. So, long queues, long hours, but she persevered. And she always managed to bring some food home. Even if it was just dried bread, she would say, the kids can dunk it in tea and then it will be edible. She lived in fear, like so many other people in that time, because they had to hide away for the police. The police was a force to be reckoned with. They had to apply the laws that was passed by the National Party that came into power in 1984, and then a lot of things changed, as I've said in the past. Hier kry ons bietjie meer van die inligting oor haar voorgeslag. Haar voorgeslagte, the previous generations. Grootouma Kappie, now see where this comes, 1860. Now those of you who does kringe in a bos, you will remember that that was the year that the main character in this story was born. Can you remember that? So they are people from the Northern Cape, Noord-Kaap mense. Guys, just quickly a little bit of language. Can you see here I write that with a hyphen, ook met Oos-London. There's a hyphen, there's a hyphen. And remember, the minute you combine a name with a direction, like Oos, Wes, Noord, Suid, it has to have a hyphen. Okay, Oma Kappie was of mixed, she had white people in her generations, so she was a regal person, and she had this high nose. At the age of 36, she was living in the Karoo, which was sheep, where they had lots of sheep. And in her olden days, as a very mature old person, she was a very rich bokboer. She farmed with boerbokke. All right? Goed. Oma Honey, so that was Poppy's real oma, 1980. Haar man George was 'n skaapskeerder. That was his groot van. They always talked about groot van. That's the isiXhosa real surname. Also from the Transkei. He died when we had the that time when everybody died from the fever. And at age 38, this woman moved to Namibia with 8 children. So you can see all of these women didn't have it easy, but they persevered. They struggled to make something of their lives. She was very strict and religious, and when she was 80, she stayed with her daughter Lena, which was Poppy's mother, and she died when Poppy was 13. Goed. Now we get to Poppy's mom, Mama Lena. Can you see here, how do we actually spell Mama? Remember, Mama has got 2 M's, but here she was Mama Lena, just with 1 M. She was born in 1910. She was the 5th child of 8, remember. Then she got married to Machine Matati. Mbele, that was his groot van. He was also from the Ciskei. He was not a very good husband. And he was a bit of a womanizer, and he didn't really care much about her and the children. So during the Second World War, he was a lorry driver. And when he didn't come back from the war, Mama Lena was not very sorry. She got a job in Lambert's Bay, there's the name again, in the fish factory. And yes, she met her second husband, Hendrik Stuurman. And his groot van was Mbatane. All right. So they got married, and only as a married couple could they get a piece of land in Elsies River. Elsies Rivier in the Cape. He dies at the age of 66, and he was still alive when Yakkie, and you will see where Yakkie comes in as part of the riots of the 76 riots. Yakkie was in trouble. He killed a policeman, and his father was questioned about him, and then he died at the age of 66. Now we get to Poppy. She came from Lambert's Bay. She got married to Stone, like we know. He was from the Ciskei, and then eventually she had to move there to provide a school and a house for her children. She thought sy gee vir haar kinders, sy gee vir haar kinders 'n veilige plek en 'n goeie opvoeding. That was her heart's desire, to keep her children safe, to give them a good education, and to give them a good home. Okay, here is the long-promised photo of a dompas. So this was in a little book, and you had to have a particular stamp, and you had to have this with you all the time. Just interesting. When I did some research about that, there was some voices that said, we are back to the dompas, and today's dompas being your vaccination certificate. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Poppy het 'n gebroke hart gehad. She had a broken heart. You remember those little hearts that you see? Because she was far away from her children. Remember, the girls stayed with her parents-in-law in Herschel. Bonsile stayed in East London. She had the little ones with her. Even when she was in Mdantsane, she was so alone because Stone was not with her. So her life was always, she was always ripped apart between her children and her husband. And then with Stone's death, she decides to go to Cape Town. She thinks about her children first and not about her own safety. She was convinced that she will be able to dodge the police because she didn't have a pass, but her biggest motivation was she has to earn more money, because in East London she only earned 18 Rand per month, and she needed more money to look after her children. You can imagine that even today, in the Eastern Cape, people don't earn the same big salaries than what people earn in the cities. So it's the same kind of principle. Goed. As sy dan besluit om Kaap toe te gaan, dan gaan haar kinders, haar dogters, nie al haar kinders nie, haar dogters gaan na haar skoonfamilie in Herschel. En dit was haar motivering. Luister nou hier. Sodat haar kinders nie aan die gevare van die lokasie blootgestel word nie. She didn't want to expose her children to all that was going on in Yanga. She wanted to protect them. Sy wou hulle beskerm. Ons het gesien, sy is baie gelowig. Die laaste toneel van die eerste bedryf eindig in die kerk, waar sy bid vir krag en waar sy bid vir beskerming vir haar kinders en haar broers. Kom ons gaan aan. Nou is Poppy in Yanga, en dit is nou die tyd van die onluste, so ons praat nou van 1976. Even though it was such a horrible time, on Christmas Day she took her children to the church. The surroundings were very unsafe. Petrol bombs, stones, lynchings went on, and she looked at this little boy of Bonsile as a gift from God. and later on we will talk about this again. At this time, Bonzile en Nomvulo word gevang, en soos baie ouers, you know, when something goes wrong with your child, the first question that you ask yourself, involuntary, is where did I make a mistake? As a parent, it's just something that you do. And when her kids were in trouble, that was the question that she asked. She immediately said, I was not a good mother. I left them when they were very small. And what happens is in a way my fault. And that's just the opposite of what she wanted for her children. But as we saw, she came to being at peace with whatever is going on. Net vinnig, Poppy se broers, hulle speel ook 'n belangrike rol in die storie. Daar's Mosie en Hoetjie en Plank. Julle het nou al gehoor van Plank. But it's interesting, all of them had an English name, Engelse name, or Afrikaanse name. Dit was hulle regte name, but they all had to have English names. And we'll see later on in the story, there's one of the people that Poppy works for that calls her Rachel. So ja, goed. Hierdie mense sal ons nie kategoriseer as hoofkarakters nie, maar as newe-karakters. Less important. We've now seen that's her oma, her ma, that's her stiefpa. Stone is her husband, Yakkie. Now, she had a very strong bond with Yakkie, because remember, Yakkie was her first half-brother that was born from her mother marrying Mtabane. So, Yakkie was their first son. And she looked after him as a little baby. And she really formed a very strong bond with him. But he became a bit of a rebel, and during the riots, and he killed a policeman, or he shot a policeman. The policeman didn't die, but he was looked. The police looked for him, searched for him, for murder and sabotage. So. This character is very close to Poppy's heart. Nog newe karakters, Mevrou Swanepoel. She was a very important part of Poppy's life. Mevrou Retief, sy was a social worker. Mrs. Scobie, she was her employer in East London. And then Mr. Stevens, he was the pasbeampte. And this person also just had to apply the laws of the country. So, yeah, there's so much richness in this drama. We can talk forever. He was instrumental that she got her house in East London, in Mdantsane. Right, so those are all the characters, and as we explore the story more and more, they will all fall into place for you. So, nog 'n stukkie van die legkaart wat jy kan inplak, tot ek julle 'n volgende keer sien.